I am a live streamer on twitch.tv/joyfulrogue for about 2 years now, and all of that time, all of those 2 years, I've been struggling with a hand injury. It's called carpal tunnel, where the nerves coming into my hands are there's pressure on them in this area of the wrist, and so I cannot actually use the mouse much, or I start getting pain in my hands. For 2 years, I've been looking for solutions that I can use to play games hands-free. I've been everywhere. I've been at the, move the mouse with your legs thing. I've been doing foot switches. I've been tracking the movements of my head with a camera. I've done voice commands. So many solutions. Hell, I even tried brainwaves. All of those solutions had major problems until something I have discovered just a couple of weeks ago. I probably want every single one of these cards, don't even care. I just want to show you how the hell am I playing the game. See, now the cursor is going to stop moving now because I'm going to show you the device. I've got the SteelSeries Sentry. See, now the cursor isn't moving because this is my SteelSeries Sentry eye tracking device, which I use to track the movements of my eyes. It's a few $100s worth of hardware that can know where I'm looking at the screen. Now, here's the problem with the hardware. It knows where I'm looking. It doesn't do anything with it, so I bought this hardware and I was kind of disappointed with the lack of options for gaming, until I found the software called IRIS. Now, IRIS does everything I dreamed of when I thought about eye tracking. First off, there is a hotkey that triggers the cursor to move with my eyes, looking at the enemy hero, looking at my hero, looking around the enemy hero. My eyes are kind of clumsy, so I can look anywhere on the screen and the cursor moves there. So that's the first thing, but still, how do I click? Now, there is a function triggered by a hotkey again, where every time I fixate my gaze on something, it clicks there. Perfect, I can play Hearthstone. Who cares about a hand injury? See, my hands are right here. I'm not doing anything with my hands. I'm not doing anything with voice commands. I'm not doing anything other than just looking at things, and they click there. Can do some emote trolling quickly. Oh yeah, emote trolling is actually right-clicking. I don't have a macro for that just yet. Now, here's the thing. If those are hotkeys, how come I can turn it off and then I can turn it on without using my hands, without using anything really? That was a misplay, I don't care. How can I turn it on and then turn it off? See, that is just the beginning of what Iris can do. Because Iris allows you to create interactive areas on the screen. Now, I don't have any technical way of actually streaming those to you, actually showing those to you. I tried screenshotting, I tried streaming. It's really cool because those interactive areas can be made transparent. You can click through them. They do not impede your gameplay in any way. They are just there, and if you look at those areas, they can press a hotkey, they can press a mouse button. So I basically have an area for F4, which is my hotkey for the eye tracking, like tracking the movements, like making the cursor move with my eyes, and then I have another hotkey, F6, for making my mouse click by just fixating my eyes on a card, or anywhere really. So I can turn those on and off with hotkeys that are just interactive areas on the screen. So I just look somewhere to start moving and clicking, and then I just look where I want to click. It's perfect. I can play Hearthstone all day long. No problems. It doesn't cause problems in your neck the way head tracking does. It doesn't have the problems with freely moving the mouse like voice commands. Don't even get me started on foot switches that make your legs hurt after an hour or so. So you can just basically play games like Hearthstone all day long without any problems. Now here's the question though, what about the more complex games? What about something more hardcore, something like, say, maybe XCOM? The king of the turn-based strategies. Let's have some fun with something more complex, something that requires multiple buttons. Now here's the next commission where I completely just got my ass kicked, and I'm just going to reenact the ass kicking for your personal entertainment as soon as I switch my profile to the special one I created for XCOM. Now in my XCOM profile, I've got a ton of buttons. First of all, I'm just going to start tracking the mouse cursor. Second of all, I have a macro. Well, basically, the scrolling of the screen is easy with eye tracking. You just basically look at the edge of the screen as it scrolls there. And then I have a macro that delays a right click. There are tons of macros that you can program yourself for your own customization. I have a macro where I look at this area of the screen, and then it's going to right click with a delay, and then I can track this piece of cover so that my soldier can move there. And then I have a macro for overwatching. Just presses the Y button, which is the hotkey for Overwatch, over here, and I just look at this area. You can see with the cursor where I'm looking. There are buttons there, you can take my word for it. And then I look at the right-click one again, and then look at this piece of cover, and then I've got a target to shoot, so I have a macro for space, and then I can shoot this guy. I have a macro for escape, I can rotate my camera, I can switch between soldiers. Most of them are dead. But I can't switch between soldiers. I can do pretty much anything that XCOM requires me to do. I could even go over there. Oh, that's actually not cover. Huh, my bad. Oops! I guess you're just gonna be... Actually, I don't have ammo for suppression. I wanted to show you that I can actually use these buttons that are numbered. I guess I can stabilize my weapon with the long war mod. That's actually a function. And then I can do a left click on the OK. Or I can do the space. It doesn't matter. Both work. I can shoot some aliens. 73%. Make it work. Make it work. Arcanator. He doesn't make it work. But still, I make it work. Can reload. No problem. Bam. And then I get to watch aliens actually reload as well. What the hell? Yeah, I can play XCOM no problem with this. And that's just the beginning of the possibilities. As I said, the buttons can be placed anywhere, they can be moved, they can be clicked through so they don't impede your gameplay in any way. You can set up macros for multiple keyboard clicks, for multiple mouse clicks in any kind of order. You can... One of the coolest things that I noticed is that you can basically make a gigantic button that left clicks when you look at it long enough. Just overlay that button over the game interface, like all these buttons, and then when I just look at the button long enough, it's basically going to click there with a click-through interface laid over all the buttons, which makes customization way easier. You just basically put an interactive area behind every interface piece, and then you just look there with the cursor tracking function that, by the way, has customizable smoothing for better accuracy. And I hear a zoom function is also in development, where you will be able to zoom in on an area that it will show you a zoomed in image, kind of like on iPhones with the touchpad precision. It will solve even more of the precision issues that could be had depending on how good your eye tracker is and your conditions of the light. But mostly, you click wherever you want, you press any button you want, and you do that only with your eyes. A godsend for the hand injury I have, where I'm not supposed to use the mouse for more than 30 minutes at a time. And hell, I'm a live streamer. I make my living playing computer games, and now it's easier than ever. Link to IRIS can be found in the description of this video, and you can just check it out for free for 14 days. Pretty good deal if you ask me. I'm just gonna quit the desktop here, 'cause I can. Just my eyes, who cares? Who cares about mouse anyway, right? My name's been Joyful Rogue. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration of what IRIS can do. If you have any questions, any doubts, anything you need help figuring out, setting up, feel free to hit me up on twitch.tv/joyfulrogue. Just drop me a question on the chat. I'll be happy to help with any kind of customization you may have, any kind of questions you may have. Oh, you're always welcome. And hell, go and check it out. Have some fun yourself.